Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kinney.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know those government people, they make regulations and laws that affect you out there.
And that's right, Elgin. Whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Oxford Township, or Addison Township, well, these are the people that you elected, and the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you. Whether you chose to go to that meeting or not, even though you should have, and the result could be a pretty taxing situation.
Well, do you know that those decisions are very difficult sometimes to make? So if you people
make
show
them at all.
yeah, if you folks show up at these meetings, you can help them make these decisions, which will be a good thing, and you will kind of avoid some of the humor that comes out of these meetings.
Well, if they choose not to make a decision, that's what tables are for.
That's right. And one thing that we're for is sometimes creating rumors. What? Okay, let's talk about a couple of meetings that came up within the last 2 weeks. One of them is the Township Board of Trustees meeting that occurred on August 9th, and also the Pollyann Trail Management Council meeting, which occurred on August 16th.
You mean the Oxford Township Board of Trustees?
Yeah, the Oxford Township Board of Trustees. What did I say?
Something else. Go ahead.
Okay, I thought that's what I said, but maybe not. He's here always to correct me. That's the reason. I was trying to wonder why he's here. Now we know.
God knows he needs me.
Yes, I do. Okay, so let's talk then about the Oxford Township Board of Trustees then, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Bill Dunn, of course, is the supervisor of the township, and he leads the chair in this particular committee and group. Joe Ferrari is the treasurer. Curtis Wright is the clerk, township clerk. And trustees on this board are Jack Curtis, Patty Durr, Margaret Payne, and of course, Elgin Nichols would be on this board.
Yourself.
Yes. I take a selfie when I'm there.
I see.
That's what I do. Okay, so they did the pledge. Of course, got the preliminaries out of the way. The agenda was approved. The public comments, they said, any public out there would like to speak about non-agenda items? Nobody. Okay, so they went on with the meeting, and the first person that got up to speak was an Older Persons Commission, OPC group. And the executive director for that, Meals on Wheels, is what most commonly is known, is Renee Courtwright. And she explained that these benefits are available for senior citizens. I believe it's 55 and older. Average age of this, 60 years and older. They've been in existence for 60 years. I mean to say we're not 60 years or older. 50, 55, and they said the average age that uses this program is 80 years old.
Huh.
That would qualify you in about another week.
Right behind you.
Okay. So anyway, so that won't work. So anyway, it's quite a program, and they are looking for volunteers, of course, or people that are interested in getting involved with Meals on Wheels. And there's a phone number that they can be reached, and that number is 248-608-0264. Now, Supervisor Dunn, he said, he would make sure that this got put on the website for the township, so that you folks out there that are interested in getting involved in this Meals on Wheels would like to participate in the benefits, you'll find more on the website for the township.
And I'll have to check our bulletin board that we put up on our website too. So.
Yeah, we should put that out there. You know anybody that would do that?
Moi.
Right. He handles the bulletin board usually. Ron Davis spoke also, and he said that the new office is up and running, and you folks would like to stop in at the Seymour Lake new location for the Parks and Recreation offices. He'd love to give you folks a tour of the facility. Very proud of it.
That's just east of Baldwin Road.
Yep. And they did a great job of putting this together. They also have completed the 4 tennis courts in the park. So you folks that play tennis, get out there and swat the ball around.
And if all you do is just
fun.
drive through that park, it's amazing what they have there.
That's true. Now, they did want to mention that Stony Lake Park will be closed for Labor Day until, almost didn't get that out, until next spring. And the reason for that is they're doing renovation over there. And the first thing I believe they'll work on is the parking lot. And then there's a gazebo, they need to work on some other items. So they're going to close a little earlier this year, folks. So that would be Stony Lake Park.
And
Keep
when
that
it
in mind.
opens next year, it'll be new and improved.
It will be. Okay. Skating rink, he said the skating rink that they expected to put in at Seymour Lake probably won't get done this year because there's so many other items on the list.
Are you talking about an ice skating rink?
Ice skating rink.
Okay.
Ice skating rink.
As opposed to a roller skating
Shovel
rink.
the snow, there's ice, if there's a rink.
Or a rollerblade rink. I don't know.
Okay, you got it. Okay, so you won't probably see an ice skating rink this year. The public hearing that they went into next in the next session will involve the Elk View Estates.
Oh,
And
good
do you remember
Lord.
that one?
Yeah, it's right off Baldwin Road.
Yeah, and actually this property has been turned over from a developer to developer over the years, and there's been a lawsuit involved in this for the last 14 years, I believe,
Yeah.
involving this, and the problem evolves around
Water.
drainage. Yes, water drainage. Hey, I'm flooded. What does that mean? There's, here comes the water.
Why is that guy in a canoe?
Right. So the question was, who's responsible to fix it? Well, with the change in developers and so forth in that area, all the fingers came pointing back to the township to correct the situation. And they finally settled what was going to happen here. And the township will purchase, along with the residents, some property behind it that will be used for drainage. So they can actually run pipes, engineer it, and drain the water away from these particular.
Does that mean they're going to dig a great
Residents.
big hole?
No, there's already a great big hole there
Oh,
on the other end where it can drain into. So
All right.
looks like that's acceptable, and they're going to go forward with it.
Just remember, water finds its own level.
It does. And that's one thing that this one gentleman, he brought up. And his name is Lauren Allen. And he said that, by the way, he says the pipe you're putting through doesn't run all the way past my property. So he says the water will end up on my property. And that's an issue, he said, that I'm concerned with.
Well, he says, thanks a lot.
Yeah. No, actually, Supervisor Dunn said, we will look into this. We will sit down with you and discuss this and see what can be done to renovate the problem or to solve the issue. So anyway, the township is willing to work with them. As it was, the court ruled on it. Supervisor Dunn signed the appropriate documents in order to complete this long battle that's been occurring for 14 years.
Well, do they have to go to the Department of Natural Resources?
I'm sure
Because
that-
they're getting rid of wetland.
right.
I don't
Well,
know.
they're actually draining in the wetland, so I think it's going to make it more plentiful out there in the wetland land area, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and of course, engineer Jim Sharp is involved in this as well. They didn't name him Sharp for a reason. I mean,
They
he's
have
a really
been
sharp guy.
tipping this in and wringing it out for 14 years?
14 years. Yes,
Good
it has
Lord.
been in courts, in and out of court. So finally, it's going to be finished, and it's about time. With that, we'll be back right after this.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen. I just wanted to remind you to watch us on OCTV and Uverse. And
Okay, cut.
this is Connie from Connie's Kitchen at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch my program on OCTV and on Charter. And
Cut.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch us on OCTV and YouTube and Charter. And
Alright, cut. I think you forgot your lines, Connie.
I think I don't have
Should
lines.
have called lines.
Lines, there we go. Lines. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
Here we
me.
go. 3, 2.
Join me here at Treetop Lodge. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen, reminding you that you can watch us on OCTV and YouTube, Charter Channel 199, Uverse Channel 99. Can you imagine if we had to go through this every time? Yeah, right? Okay, see ya. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, and I want to remind you to join me here at the Lodge for Connie's Kitchen on OCTV, on YouTube, on Charter Channel 199, on Uverse Channel 99, and enjoy the show.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website dogsaver.org and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Oxford Township Trustee Board meeting that they had. And we just finished talking about the Elkview Estates and the water problem they had there. Now we're going to talk about the fire department budget amendment they asked to be approved for the EMS funding. And there's an adjustment to it, and the adjustment was made and approved. Unfinished business, they had Special Assessment District, SAD. Remember we talked about Cedar, Long, and Tan Lake in the past? And there was a
Algae or weed problem?
yeah, weed problem there. And some of the residents said, well, they didn't understand the full crux of the issue, what they had to pay for and what they didn't have to pay for. And so they claimed that their petition wasn't good. They wanted to re-petition the community. Well, guess what? They re-petitioned, and it looks like they have the signatures necessary to go forward with this. Now Jim Sharp, the engineer, will actually get in there and find out what the cost will be.
On the other hand, winter's coming. The weeds will all be gone.
Weeds will be all gone. Once the ice gets on, you just take your mower and go out there. No, that's not what they do.
I know.
They keep coming back, every spring. So anyway, they move forward on that one. And then Supervisor Dunn said, well, let's take a 2-minute recess so that he can work out some documents in terms of legal documents and make sure that he was all straight out by the time they came back. So they did that. 2 minutes. Here's where we take a 2-minute break. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to go on with it. Anyway, Savannah Ridge Estates was the next thing, and it's the owner of that would be Clearview Construction. And their concern was the safety path. You do understand the ordinance that if you don't want to, as a developer, pay for a safety path,
You'll be assessed for it.
you'll be, well, you can, in lieu of it, you can pay the amount of money that the safety path would cost to put through there.
I call that an assessment if I were you.
I call that ransom. Anyway, they checked
Stand
it out.
and deliver.
They checked it out and they said, well, let me see now. If we do it, it'll cost us $6 million. If we just pay the small amount that the township is asking for, we get off pretty light. What do you think?
Lesser of two evils to me.
Right, it was. So anyway, they wanted that approved and that they just pay for the safety path. So that was approved. And by the way, it was motion was made by Jack Curtis on this one to get it through. Sewer charges. Let me see. Christ the King Church. Get this.
Yep.
Their average water bill is $240. Or I'm sorry, not water bill, but sewage bill is $240 per month. Normally.
But
A bill for $7,000. What?
wait a minute. Is this in arrears, so to speak?
No, it's not. It's not. They were paid up until they got a $7,000 bill.
For what?
Well, here's what happened. There's the rest of the story. Apparently what happened at the Christ King Church is they had a broken water main. So in order to take care of that, of course, they had to have the plumbers come out and take care of the break.
Uh-huh.
In the meantime, all this water was running into the sewer. It had become saturated and went to the sewer.
Yeah.
The
And
amount
then
of
what?
water that's running, there's a meter on it,
Uh-oh.
determines what the cost of
Should
the
have cut it off before the
sewage is.
meter.
Yeah, I should have done that. But anyway, so they're asking for some help in this area. And Supervisor Dunn said, well, he's kind of pushed it over to Jack Curtis, who's in charge of the Water and Sewage Committee. And Jack said, well, I'd like to, bring this group together, bring your paperwork, the bills with you. And let's sit down, let's talk about this and find out what the facts are. And he says, then
Where
we
was
can
the
make a
water running?
decision.
Was it running into the sewer?
It was running into, well, eventually it did because it saturated the ground. Once the ground was saturated, then it went into the sewer system. All that water.
Is that a sanitary sewer or a storm sewer?
It would be a sanitary sewer.
Then how did it run into the sanitary sewer? That's sealed.
It did. Well, should be. Might be.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, I don't know what happened other than the amount of water that was being exposed to the sewer system through the meter. And that's how they get billed for sewer, just reading the water meter.
Ah.
So regardless of where it goes,
But
the
all
meter-
that clean water going into the sewer, they got really clean sewer pipes now.
well, yeah, with the water coming in, your assumption is, in the billing process, is that it's what comes in goes out. It's called kazins and kazouts. And so the kazout was in the sewer system.
But it all comes out in the wash.
All comes out in the wash. Well, this one didn't, but it will. Okay. So anyway, so that'll be an issue that'll be involved in a special committee with the church. Parks and Recreation, Ron Davis. He said that he'd like to change their insurance retirement program, John Hancock program, which they have, to another servicer. And he would like to go with Edward Jones, who is a local company in Oxford. And they
They're
currently...
a franchise.
Yeah. And actually they'll be using the same John Hancock company as the insurance, but changing
The agent.
agent. Got it. Okay. So, and I won't name the agent here, but they've had the agent for some time, and he said the service hasn't been all that great, so he'd like to change it to a local who will give spontaneous answers.
But his name is not Edward Jones.
His name is not Edward Jones. Nope, it is not. But Edward Jones is a company that is a local company. It's going to be handling this. Okay, Bill Dunn said that by splitting from the township will the effect of the cost for the township in terms of, rates that you'll get, so forth.
Were they part of a township?
They were.
Oh, okay.
So they have to be split out from the township and moved to the Parks and Recreation.
So
it's-
is it a cost increase or a
No.
cost decrease?
Actually, they had a discussion on this, and the representative from the local company said that they had talked to John Hancock, and they said, no, there wouldn't be any change. So
Okay.
we should be fine with that. And so it was approved, put
All right.
through. So now you folks over there in Park and Rec will have local representation.
Same car, different dealer.
Yep, it is. Public comment. Randy Davison, who's a resident, has been married for 61 years. And William Dunn, the supervisor, he said, would you like to say a few words? And so he got up and he said, well, Randy said, it's more like a life sentence, 61 years. So, pretty humorous guy. And he talked about the advantages of retired people, within the community. Did a great job. So that pretty much concludes what went on with the Township Trustee Board. Next one we're going to talk about is the Pollyant Trail Management Council, and that was held August 16th. Now, the people serving on that board is Mike McDonald, who's the chair. Curtis Wright is on that board, and he represents the township, and he's the vice chair. Donnie Steele is a treasurer, and she also represents, she's the clerk of Orient Township. Bruce Pearson, of course, the supervisor of Addison Township. Eric Sant, who is the trustee with Addison, was absent in this particular meeting. He had something else going of urgency that day. And Ron Slowinski, who is the secretary. And then, of course, Elgin Nichols. Kevin Green
Who
serves...
is that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on that board, too. So anyway, Kevin Green is a citizens representative. So providing the viewpoint of the citizens out there and how the Pollyant Trail should operate. So if you have any questions, you might talk to Kevin Green, or you can talk to the trail manager, who's Linda Moran. Linda Moran. And,
Moran, yeah.
Yep, Linda Moran. And she's a trail manager doing a super job out there, but give her a call if you will. With that, we'll be back and tell you more right after this.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to historic Oxford.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Pollyann Trail Management Console.
Yes.
Okay. Nice trails out there. I mean, they're all over.
Beautiful
They-
trails.
Interconnecting.
And one day they'll all be connected. The Paint
yeah.
Creek Trail.
Yes. There's
The
Oxford,
Iron Bell
there's
Trail.
Edison. Right. And a lot of neat trails out there. You people, I know, enjoy it.
Someday.
And they have goats out there. We'll talk about that later. Okay, they did the pledge, got that out of the way, covered the bills. They had bills for June in the amount of $2,691.86. Dig down into your pocket, help them out.
Gotta dust off those trails.
Yeah, July bills were $7,464.67. So that was approved quickly, and then asked for public comment. Again, people checked their shiny shoes. Nobody spoke. Trail manager report with Linda Moran. A couple things that she talked about was the firmly rooted ministry.
That's the one that meets over on Sundays at the Oxford High School.
Really? I didn't know that. Have you been there?
Stick around, kid.
Yeah, I'm fairly new. Yeah, he's filling me in all the time. What was that?
I have no
A
idea.
bullish. Okay. Anyway, they want to have a 5K, 10K run for October 14th using the Pollyann Trail from 9 to noon. So that was approved, folks out there. And Orion Library said that they would request 2 signs on the trail showing the where the library is located in Orion. And let me see, vandals. Oh, remember the bridge? They're going to put porcupines out there.
Vandals?
Yeah.
Not Visigoths.
Not Visigoths. Okay. No, these are vandals that were
Okay.
destroying the bridge, knocking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that? And painting graffiti
There's,
all over.
there's always someone like
Yeah.
that.
Well, Linda Moran and her husband, I think, and others pitched in, got that all taken care of and repaired. Cameras, watch it now. That bridge is going to have cameras. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're going to watch what's going on. That porcupine isn't a porcupine. That skunk is not a skunk. It's going to be a camera, so be careful. Okay. Request to purchase. Okay, she made several requests. One was for concrete cloth. You ever hear of that before?
Concrete cloth?
Concrete cloth.
To do what with?
What you do is you wet the cloth, it becomes concrete, and it
I see.
hardens like concrete.
Oh, it's kind of like a cast.
Yeah, kind of like
You ever
a
have
cast.
a cast before?
No, I never did.
Yeah, they just wet it down and go
Yeah,
boing.
it's for people that are all broken up, right?
Yep.
But anyway, this cloth runs about 3.5 feet wide by 30 feet long, and it runs about $685 to purchase.
So what are they going to do with it again?
They're going to use it for the trail where there's trail needs to be repaired in certain areas.
Concrete cloth.
concrete
well,
cloth.
wonders never cease.
Never heard of it, but anyway, the trail manager, she found out about it, and she explained it. You can make it virtually anything you want. Make a rock out of it if you want to. And she said she wouldn't use the full amount, but they actually have appropriated, I think, about $300 already in the fund, so they had to fill in, the extra amount that was requested, and it was approved. There's very seldom anything that Linda Moran doesn't get through, because she does a great job of research. Okay, and a brush hog. They have a brush hog that is available. Their initial cost was $3,000, and this thing really works like a charm.
Now, this is something that has to be powered by a PTO of a trailer or what?
No, it's self-propelled. It has a motor on it and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're willing to make it available for $500, which is a fantastic buy. And I don't know if it'll eliminate goats. I doubt it. It cuts off some pretty good sized pieces of brush. So.
Yeah, if it puts too much pressure on the goats, they'll be protesting out there.
Well, it'll keep the goats ahead of them. I mean, you can goats, bah, here it comes. Keep moving. So anyway, so that was approved as well. So they're going to get a brush hog. She did mention too that the lawnmower that they had purchased a while back, got very inexpensive lawnmower. It needs some repair work done to it. She
Sort of
said-
goes together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does go together.
Inexpensive
and, it works,
and repairs.
and it works great. She said it's fantastic.
All right.
She says, boy, that was a good buy. So anyway, she's happy with that. Problem areas, though, residents that infringe on the trail property by putting a fence line up on the trail property. Remember
Does the
we
trail
talked
have
about
an
that?
Is the trail actually an easement on their property or what?
No. The trail is actually owned by the Pollyant Trail,
Which is owned by the DNR.
owned by the DNR. And that brings about who's going to handle this legal situation.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Thank you, Perry Mason.
Right. Good job. So anyway, so one of them is, we talked about the guy that kept moving the fence line. So he's been notified already that he needs to move it back. DNR is hot on his trail. Next resident was one that put up a fence next to the gravel pit on Lakeville Road.
Yep.
And he put up a gate in there, and he's infringed on the Pollyant Trail. So he'll be getting a letter, in case you didn't get it yet.
By feet
You're
or
getting a letter.
inches?
Oh, I think feet.
Okay.
By feet. Otherwise, they wouldn't make an issue out of it. But anybody who
You
infringes
know what they
on
say?
this,
Give an
which-
inch, they take them. No.
well, this property is community project,
Right.
or property, so you cannot, infringe on the property without getting some repercussions. Repercussions are going to come from the DNR, and they'll handle the legal side of this. So, as you said, it's still in the books.
So watch out for the guys in the green suits.
Yep, watch out for them, or the guys in the black suits.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
Those are lawyers.
Yeah, lawyers, yeah. I don't think you folks want to get to that stage. Okay, good news. There's some great citizens out there who donate funds, and they do it silently. For example, there's a fellow, his
No
name
change.
Yeah, no change. Mr. Katzman, who lives in Metamora as a resident, he donated the water fountain at the Leonard Trailhead.
Oh,
That new
good.
fountain that they're putting in. He paid for the whole thing. So, that's great. And he's donated money before, and he wishes to remain silent. Unfortunately, we're kind of blabbers here. So, great job. We appreciate it, Mr. Katzman.
So much for that secret.
Yep. So much. Now you folks are going to get knocked down the door. all types of solicitors. I hope not. But anyway, he's been very generous in the past, and they really
Good
speak
job.
highly of him.
Good job.
Yep. Powell Lake Park. Remember, they're going to do a kind of little park next to Powell Lake, and an Eagle Scout project by
Where
Logan
is Powell
Streeter.
Lake?
It's on, if you go down Drainer to Pontiac Street, you'll see in there, it'll point
okay.
to
I know which one you
Powell
mean.
Lake. It's
Yep.
near the library, actually.
Part of that chain with
Right.
Can Lake and Davis Lake and what have you.
But what I wanted to say is Logan Streeter, who's working on the Eagle project from Troop 366 in Oxford, has volunteered to build this park as such. And one of the things that he's putting in there is a 12 by 12 cement installation, framing, all those kind of things. And it's donated by Joe Gunn, I believe it is, Guinn, or Gwynn. And he's donated all this, after this young man went to the forest and got a big club. No, he did volunteer for everything. Let me see. The new street signs were reviewed for the trail, and it was discussed uniform trail signs, and also amendment to next year's budget was discussed briefly. And one more thing, the zombie run, new day with my new lips, zombie run for 2017 has been canceled. Not enough participants last year, and they felt, well,
We drove all the zombies out of town this year, folks. So
zombies are gone. Next year, though, may be another story.
I was in Windsor for I didn't realize they were doing it, but they were gathering of the zombies down there, and it was very nice people, and they were all donating to charity.
Well, maybe
So-
that's where they went. I don't know.
I
What's
guess.
coming up?
Not much. On 8/28, our parent organization, the OACCC, which stands for
Oxford Community
No.
Cable Communications.
Oxford
Area. Oh, I forgot the area. It's area?
Don't forget the A.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And of course, we wish everybody a happy Labor Day. Enjoy that 3-day weekend.
That's it?
Yep.
That's all you got, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kinney.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minute.
Yep.